Hey, what's up, everybody? Let me check something. Hold on, hold
Turn
on.
off hot. Live zero. Camera. Button. Live zero. Zero three.
All
Button.
right, there we go. We are on. We was on before, but we know we was on, and it was like 20 minutes of Walter telling people that he was gonna be on. So you already know who here, cause you looking in the description, you see the title. Man, he's back, like 3 times back. Like, you know what I mean? Michael Jordan back. You know what I mean? You guys may not remember the interview that we did, a while ago. But basically, it was me on a call with Chanel Patrice Hancock, who definitely will see this and, say what's up, because that's what she do. And I was talking about empowerment and finances and my life story as a blind person. And I always say, if it's 10 people in a room and I'm here to touch somebody, oh, this is me touching the phone. Do not disturb. That one person is always going to come out of that situation better. And so out of those 10 or so people, I got a chance to connect with Walter all the way from Ohio here in Georgia. Been traveling around the world, went from the West Coast to the East Coast. You guys put your hands together and welcome Mr. Walter Mitchell. How you doing, sir?
I'm all right in yourself, sir. I appreciate you inviting me back. I really love hanging out with you and just doing what we do.
Absolutely, man. And I am better than excellent. I got my rest. I knew that today was going to be special. I didn't know we would be sitting here in the recording booth, room, studio, bedroom slash, command center, 1A, putting it down, on a Friday night. But, we here. And I'm excited, man. So let's jump into it. First of all, I think we both want to let you guys know that all it takes is a conversation. I didn't know this brother, 4 months ago, 5 months ago. We had a conversation through the National Federation of the Blind, which you're going to hear about. And he's here, like I said, by way of Ohio. So what part of Ohio are you from,
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati in the house.
Hey, what up, Cincy?
Yeah, is that the capital?
No, Cincinnati. Columbus is the capital.
Okay.
But Cincinnati is the best city by far, if you ask me.
Okay. Well, that's where you at. That's
That's
you know
right.
what I mean. Rep your city, player.
Right, Sin City.
I know that's what's up. So this whole thing with empowerment. Number one, how do you kind of view empowerment? What's like your definition of empowerment?
Well, to me, empowerment is making ourselves, making it to where myself, me, not an organization, not some church organization or something of that nature. Empowerment is for me to be able to be everything that I can be for myself. And the empowerment part of that is that it takes the internal me to get me there. It's not an outside type of situation from someone else standing up for me or someone else doing this, that, and the other for me. It's about me. It's about being who I am, being who God made me.
So it's like the authentic you.
Yes.
If somebody makes you mad, you have the ability to
Let them know.
let them know,
Right.
and you don't need somebody else to let them know
Yeah,
for
and-
you.
Correct. In a situation, it's well, he's not a friend of mine. It's a fellow musician.
Okay.
He wrote a song, and it said, "If the whole world was to follow you, where would you lead them?" And in his song, he says, "I would lead them back to themselves." Now my job is done. So it's all about you and what you can do and who you are.
Mm. Yeah, man, that's crazy. I don't know if you guys seen the interview that I did with me and my parents. It was titled "Who Raised You?"
Right.
And that's the very thing that it really takes a lot of times for a lot of people a lifetime to realize that it all has to do with you.
Right.
Your outlook on the world, your attitude determining your altitude. um, you know, what you want out of life, only you want it and only you can get it. There's going to be some people on the way to help you, and you can't get it on your own, but it's you that has to move forward and make it happen. So,
The actual artist's name is Victor Wu. He also came up with this thing about very quickly in life we get away from who we actually are, because of the education that we get. I'm not speaking that education is not good, but who says that the way that we communicate with each other is the way that we should be? Or who says that the way that we make our funds and you know, grow our lives and raise our families is the way that you would have done it without the education that you've received?
Man, it is funny that you mentioned that. I'm listening to the Will Smith interview with Rap Radar with B. Dot and Elliot Wilson, and Will Smith was saying the exact same thing. You know, just because my dad raised me in the way that he raised me, you know, now that he's passed away, I get the opportunity to raise my family and lead my family the way I see it, which is gonna be different than him.
That's correct.
And nothing says that you have to parent or you have to do anything this way to make it right or wrong. You know, right and wrong exists. Good and bad exist in everything. The best day of my life could very well be the worst day of my life, depending on how I looked at it. Even if I won $1 million, you don't know whether that's the worst day of my life or not.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, yeah, that definitely makes sense.
But society tells you, okay, that's the best day of your life because that's society, and they see it as though it's a great thing because you got a lot of money. Okay, well, that's good for society.
Right.
But what about me as a person and me as that individual that's empowering, trying to empower others as well as empower myself to be all that I can be?
Yeah.
Whether I'm disabled, whether I'm rich, whether I'm poor, whether I'm a drug addict.
That's, man, you hitting on that because that's what I was about to say, because people are like, right now, you know, how can you be upset with $1 million? Well, if I'm a crackhead, literally with $1 million, I'm gonna kill myself.
Right.
And that's how $1 million could really be bad.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Right.
so, yeah, good and bad exist in everything that happens. It doesn't have to
Exactly.
be, you know, one or the other. It can be both.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sure
man.
can.
So,
It's about how it affects you.
yeah, and that's kind of life empowerment, financial empowerment. How do you what's your perspective on that?
Well, I've been looking at trying to find ways to build my own financial worth. I'm not real happy with the way, and forgive me guys, that, you know, I see people out here running around saying, I need a job, I need a job, I need a job. Well, again, here we go with society. Society has painted this picture that a job provides some type of security for you as you get older and begins to build your wealth. Well, I've looked at it in a different scenario. When I wasn't blind and I was this great procurement specialist, the companies walked me in with a smile. And the day, well, a few days later, it was a few years, you know, I think I got 5 years in with them, I became blind. Those same people that was so happy to walk me in walked me right back out that door.
Yep.
It wasn't because of, and if I knew what I knew these days, it probably would have been a lawsuit. But, you know, God has a way, a reason for doing what he does.
Yep.
But I don't get with this, even with disability checks, I do not feel secure with saying that this is going to suffice me for the rest of my life. So I began to look at scenarios that I feel that could. And I took a look at this company called Legal Shield.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Legal Shield does a couple things. One, it empowers me to be who I want to be and not let anyone step against my civil liberties because of this, that, and the other. And if they do, I have a remedy for checking that. Secondly, I don't have to hit no one's clock. I don't have to answer to anyone. But if I could get people to get interested in Legal Shield and join at the associate level or join at the customer level, it begins to build my wealth, which means that I'm in control of how much wealth I will have. And I think that that's an empowerment that I would like to share with everybody, anyone, especially those with disabilities. We get discriminated against in so many different ways that, some people don't even pay attention to. It's a second nature to them to do these types of things
Right.
to us. But they don't know that it's against our civil liberties. So when we come down to it and we want to get some type of remedy for that, if you're not dealing with a company like Legal Shield, you're paying out the wazoo most of the time. Most of the time. Not all the time, most of the time.
For your legal services.
Right. So
Okay.
Legal Shield has shown me a way to empower myself as with financial as well as civil liberties, and I want to spread that to everybody that I can.
Okay. Got you.
So,
And so, with that, at the end, we'll give out your information for sure.
please do.
Now, in Ohio and all around, you want to be able to assist people with employment, whether that's self-employment, whether that's commission-based employment, full-time, part-time, working for somebody, whatever, that employment, work from home is, you want to be able to assist people with disabilities in doing that. What's kind of your thought process behind?
Yeah, after the statement that I just made about people looking for jobs, I recognize that there is a scenario for that. Some people is just not going to realize that it's up to them to build their own wealth and not to lean upon this security, false security, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, that a job provides. But so for those people, I'm going to set up a scenario in Ohio where technology training, interview training, whatever it is that you feel that you need to gain a job, maintain a job, or enhance a job, we want to provide that for you. Through specialized, trained, or let's say education, because I know you don't like that word training, Vashawn.
I hate it. I feel you train the dog.
Right. I remember you saying that.
Teaching. Right.
But, we want to provide you with the education to give you the skills that you need to be able to do a job if that's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of your training, we want to be able to have positions or contracts for you to step directly into or to be able to interview for. And of course, we also want to make sure that when you interview, you're ready for that. There's a lot. I've been a manager before and I've done a lot of interviews. I'm not saying that I would actually be the person to do your mock interviews or things of that nature, but we're going to make sure that you understand the process. We're going to make sure that you feel comfortable with going in, speaking to a sighted person as a blind person or a disabled person. We're going to make sure if you're doing a let's say a customer service type of telephone or what's that, phone service, or what is that type of service I'm thinking about?
Notification center.
Telemarketing.
Jones.
We want you to be bilingual. We want you to be able to speak Spanish, French, Russian, whatever else you need, so that you can be the top of your class or the top of the best of the best of the best.
Not
That's
the
what
best
I want
of the
you to
best
be.
of the best.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't know nothing about that movie. And I apologize, guys. Do not disturb. I'm usually not interviewing, as you know, this late at night. So phones ringing, stuff coming through on the computer, but we blind. The computers talk. The technology talk, man. I'm not trying to be quiet.
You're an important person, man. People want to holler at the people that's important.
I'm sorry, man.
That's the way it goes.
Just try to do me. But yeah, definitely, man. The proper teaching and a job. I say a job stands for just over broke. Because if you look at the average person working, they do it because they have to and not because you want to. And I don't want to live my life doing stuff that, I don't have to do. Now, do I have to work? Yeah, but I want to do something that I love doing, and that way it doesn't feel like work. Like this right here is work, but it don't feel like work, baby, because I love it, right? I'm up all night doing this and figuring out, whatever it is. And then I teach other people how to do it. And so, that's that. So listen, you was at the National Federation of the Blind. What year convention is this? What is it, 78?
First one, man.
That's first one for you, but 78 for them? Was 78 convention?
It was
79?
75 was, I think it's about 78 or 79.
Okay. And so you was there. What was kind of like the vibe, man? What was up?
It was very positive. I can give it that. I went to some of the sessions. Mm-hmm. But I got a story here I want to tell. I was having some problems with my hip and my thigh while I was in Orlando this year at convention, and I was staying actually in the Overflow Hotel, and I got up, got ready to go over to a general session. And by the time I got to the lobby, I was in so much pain, I just went over to the poolside bar to have an adult beverage,
right,
and to get some lunch. Okay. Sitting there, maybe a table away, was this young lady. Now, I had no clue that why they was there or anything like that. Her name was Mona. We just began to talk and just, having fun, just saying, hey, what's up? How you doing? She recognized that I was blind. She said, are you here for the NFB convention? And of course I said yes. And it went from there. She came there, but let me break it down like this. She came herself, her son, her daughter, and her youngest son. The oldest son, Sean, caught the business end of a shotgun by mistake. They own a small business in, I believe it's Miami, Florida. If I forgive me if I got it wrong, but they sell a lot of things like this. And while they were putting one of the shotguns up in one of the cases that they keep it in, it fell out and shot him in the face. He caught the business end in his face.
Wow. He
still have buckshots in his brain that they can't get out. But it caused him to become totally blind. They knew nothing about the technology. They knew nothing about the lifestyles. The sister, Melissa, just happened to be looking up some things for blindness and found out that there was going to be a convention in Orlando, Florida. Mm-hmm. And she called her mama, said, there's a blindness convention in Orlando, Florida. They both said at the same time, we going. We going. Mm-hmm. All right, so they brought, it was Mona, mm-hmm. It was Sean, it was Melissa, and Tanner. These people got a lot of love for their brother. And they want to see him thrive and be strong and be the person that he can be in society. Mm-hmm. They have a business to run that they need his help with, but they also need for him to be successful in life.
Right.
So they came to the convention to find out what they can find out. And I got a chance to meet with them. And I expressed to them about JAWS, the screen reader that I use. Mm-hmm. I expressed to them about, I gave them some tips on using the cane, but I'm not going to say I'm the greatest. Mm-hmm. And I told him to go get some more training.
24 new notifications.
If that's what he wants to do. Mm-hmm. But the main thing that I told them is that they have to let him grow into who he's going to be as a blind person. You get a lot of things where people say, well, okay, well, you ain't been blind long enough, so you don't know about blindness. You got sight, so you don't know enough about blindness, or some idiotic thing. And I'm gonna tell you right now, quote me on this. That's idiotic.
Right.
Because the thing is, we're all individuals. We all deal with different things different ways.
Right.
So the way that he learns to deal with the situation that he got in his life is his way of dealing with that, not yours. And it's not for me, you, or nobody else to put him down for the way that he learns to deal with what he has to deal with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I've run into that myself.
Right.
And, even though, I'm just resilient enough, because I'm strong enough within myself to say, I know who I am. I don't know if this gentleman is. I hope that he is.
Right.
But I don't know. I just met him over dinner. We had some adult beverages, and, we ran to the store for this, that, and the other. Pardon me. But I know that he's got a loving support system. His mother, his sister, and his younger brother loves him.
Right.
And they're going to make sure that whatever he needs, he got.
Yep.
Okay? But I also want to caution them. Please allow him to grow into whatever is for him. I can't say what it is. NFB can't say what it is. ACB can't say what it is. Neither one of you can say what it is. God has that situation under control. So allow it to happen. Allow him to make some mistakes, to learn from them. And I think that Sean will do just fine as an individual and as a businessman. So that's just my point. I really appreciate it. Meeting you guys. I hope you guys are listening. I really appreciate it. Meeting you guys. I had a lot of fun with you. And I hope whenever I get back to Florida, we can get together again.
Yeah, well, they'll definitely hear this. So, man, you heard it. The passion for empowerment is definitely there. We want to see people succeed. It's not the money that you have. It's not the house that you have. It's not the material things that really, truly makes a person happy. What makes a person happy is all those things being able to help someone else, to be able to give to someone else, to be able to help another human being overcome something, to move to another level, to be empowered. So Walter, we got some songs to cut, man. Tell people how to reach you, Legal Shield, all of that. How would they reach out to you?
Well, you can always reach me by calling 513-582-8606, or you can hit me up at walterl.mitch, that's MITCH, the number 2 at gmail.com. I'm always looking at that email address, but I got several, but that's the easiest one that you can get in contact with me with. Let me say that. I'm going to spell it all the way out. WALTERL.MITCH, the number 2 at gmail.com.
Got you.
Hit me up.
Cool.
Hit up Bashan. Oh my goodness. Hit up Bashan. Bashan is a great guy. He's a good resource. He's a good businessman. I enjoy dealing with him with music, business, friendship, whatever it is. This gentleman is the greatest. Even the prayer line that we go to every morning, he introduced me to. It's just a wonderful thing to be a friend of Bashan Jones. And I want to thank you, my brother.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. Hey, remember, a man with experience is not at the mercy of one with an opinion. And let's change the world, and let's change the world
Route
together.
24, 23.